Abe Dabdab gives further clarification on why Mark Golding is disqualified from sitting in Parliament
it's
Part
the cover
2.
Story, and we have with us Abe Dabdoo, attorney at law, seeking to make sense of Section 40 of the Jamaican Constitution, read in relation to Section 39. Mr. Dabdoo, I want to take you back to the Court of Appeal ruling in Dabdoo v. Vaz. And paragraph 35, the former president of the Court of Appeal, Seymour Panton, wrote in part, "If they choose, meaning a Jamaican, a distant, autocratic, unfriendly Commonwealth country for citizenship status, they can still serve in the House of Representatives. If, however, they choose to acquire such status in the United States of America, their friendly and accommodating neighbor to the north, they are disqualified. That may seem an oddity, given the fact that many Jamaicans seek United States citizenship and are more likely to be accommodating in that country compared with the level of accommodation they would receive in many Commonwealth countries. However, that is the Constitution. Does it not appear here that the former president of the Court of Appeal took for granted that Commonwealth citizens automatically have a right, no matter which Commonwealth country they choose, to sit in the House of Representatives?"
You are perfectly correct. He took it for granted. It's not obiter dictum.
And just for the benefit of our listeners, what is obiter dictum?
It is not a rationale of the case that was before him.
So in other words, a sort of throwaway comment.
Yes, and quite frankly, Mr. Panton was very, everybody knows he has always been a person who would have throwaway comments as he goes through his judgments. But I don't necessarily agree with him. But it shows you that, in my opinion, the question of Commonwealth citizens not being subject to their dual allegiance needs to be decided on by the courts.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, Cliff, if you look at the Immigration Restriction Commonwealth Citizens Act, Commonwealth citizens can't just come here as they wish, They need permission. So we certainly, our parliament treats them differently.
Mm-hmm. Going back to something you said before the break, Mr. Dabdoo, you suggested that even if you were to inherit, citizenship of a foreign power, and you do not renounce it, that would constitute dual allegiance? Is that correct?
That is what the case of Sykes versus Cleary and Sue versus Hill in Australia has said.
By not renouncing?
That by not renouncing.
Oh.
Because the failure to do something is an act in itself.
And Mr. Dabdoo, let me just be clear. Is that by virtue of the section, the part that says under any acknowledgement?
Yes.
So in other words, the fact that you know.
It's not by any acknowledgement, it's under any acknowledgement. So if you are aware that you are a citizen of a foreign country or a Commonwealth country, and you are so aware and you have not renounced it in order to not nominate, then to my mind, you are guilty of being under the acknowledgement of a foreign power.
Have you discussed this view with your colleagues, your senior colleagues at the bar?
Some of them.
And what is the conclusion?
I must tell you that some of them agree, and one or two who are in the minority, I must say, do not agree. And the unfortunate thing is that some of us tend to look at the question of this law and how it applies in a political sense, as to who it will apply to. And quite frankly, I don't think we should be looking at it from the point of view, or that point of view. We should be concerned with the Constitution and void of any particular feelings we have about whether it's right or wrong. And if it needs to be changed, we need to change it. But we can't interpret it the way we would like to interpret it. It would need to be interpreted according to law.
So in that vein, if you were to advise the JLP, which is now making a big issue of this, would it be prudent, in your opinion, for them to take it to the court?
I would not seek to advise any political party anymore. If I am an attorney, I practice law, I no longer practice politics. So I would not want to give anybody any political advice.
Go ahead.
On the facts that are now public and all you have heard, do you think, based on sections 39 and 40, Mr. Golding has a legitimate legal question to answer?
I believe that the whole question, not only of Mr. Golding, but anybody else who sits in the House, who has Commonwealth citizenship or Commonwealth passports, need to have their legal position determined by a court of law. Let me put it that way. We need to know that what our Constitution says, because it's my view, as I said before, if the interpretation that some are putting on it, that a Commonwealth citizen is exempt, then really the idea of independence has not really truly happened to us yet. If we have to interpret it that Commonwealth citizens are to be treated special, then we are not really independent.
So, in the case of Mr. Golding says, listen, he's born and bred in Jamaica. Yes, he inherited a British passport and citizenship by descent. By descent. Would that still, given those set of circumstances, disqualify him under 40? In your opinion?
Does he have a passport? We can't. I don't know. Does Mr. Golding have a passport?
As in a British passport?
Yes.
What if he does?
Well, and if he has it since he has become an adult and he has renewed it, then I would think it applies to him too.
If he has renewed it?
Yes, but that is a question really for the people of Jamaica to decide too, you know. If he wants to continue to hold on to it without renouncing, then it's a question that for the electorate to decide whether they accept or not.
I'm being reminded that he told TVJ that he has a passport that expires this year.
Well, if he has admitted that and he wants to keep it, then it is up to the people to make a decision if there's an election before there is a judicial decision.
Abe Dabdoob, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Abe Dabdoob.
Okay.
Abe Dabdoob was the man who you could say, started this legal
Yeah.